this could have some implications in college football as well. I'm sure you guys have heard about the news that just dropped literally yesterday. You guys remember Kayshon Boutte? Kayshon Boutte was someone that played at LSU, ended up being drafted in the sixth round by the New England Patriots. Well, he was arrested the other day for sports gambling violations. He's facing one felony count of computer fraud and one misdemeanor count of gaming prohibited for persons under the age of 21. He was just booked in the East Baton Rouge Parish Jail recently as yesterday. And this man was busy while he was at LSU. This man allegedly, not this is still very early on in the process. Boutte placed more than 8,900 bets in a span of a year between April of 2022 and May of this past year. He turned 21 on May 7th, and during his time at LSU, of those 8,900 bets, apparently 17 were waged on NCAA football games. 6 of them were on LSU games themselves. So it leads to a couple of questions. First and foremost, how does one place 8,900 bets in a span of a year? I mean, you got to think about what kind of you want to talk about the number of transactions that is. If you bet every single day, that would be placing 24 bets a day. 24. And I enjoy sports betting as much as the next guy. I'm not going to shy away from that at all. Of course, bet responsibly if you do, but I can't think of 8,900 things to bet on. Even if I bet on every single college football game this year, I still would not be close to that 8,900. I wouldn't get there. So that's insane that one, well, I'm not surprised that he had the money to do it, because of what's going on with NIL, but what's going on with what we have happening, just having the time to put all those bets in, right? That's just a crazy thing to think about. But secondarily, I wonder what the effects long term are going to be on the LSU football program going forward. I would imagine, since it does involve college football games and specifically LSU football games themselves, it makes you wonder if the NCAA will eventually punish LSU for that. Because, and I'm speaking as someone that used to compete in college athletics too, if you bet on your own sport, you lose your eligibility. You lose what's left of your eligibility. It doesn't matter if you have 4 years or if it's your last year. If you are caught gambling on your own games, you lose your eligibility and you will not be able to get it back. If you're a college athlete and you're betting, then I think you lose it for like a year, but then you could possibly be reinstated. But if these allegations are true, and again, these are allegations, he has been charged with these crimes, but he has not been convicted. He has not been found guilty yet. What happens to the LSU program? Because if he is found guilty and these allegations are true, then LSU played a player that shouldn't have been eligible. And because they would play someone that is not eligible, let's say it is 6 games that he played in the fall of the 2022-2023 season. Do those 6 games, do they end up getting vacated? And do they face additional sanctions? Now, it's one player. There's nothing to suggest that this is a widespread issue at LSU. And I don't want to say that it is a widespread issue at all at LSU until more information does end up coming out down the line. But if it is, Do we see additional sanctions in regards to a bowl postseason bans for LSU, scholarship reductions? Do we possibly see, a fine being placed? We saw Tennessee got fined in the fall for, NCAA violations. Does LSU get hit with a similar thing? The legal process will still need to play out. So who knows what's going to happen down the line? But I just found it's a very intriguing situation from the standpoint of college athletics, because not only could Boutte, effectively see his NFL career come to an end. Your 6th-round draft pick, I would not be shocked if he ends up being released because of these allegations, but could it have long-lasting effects on LSU, and could it dial up the pressure on Brian Kelly to try to get more control under his program? Because Brian Kelly has not been there very long. He's only been there for a couple of years, and who already being investigated by the NCAA based on things that happened under his watch, it could be a little bit concerning. But if you are an LSU fan or an SEC fan, let me know down in the comments what you think of that as well. It's just a very intriguing situation that is going to continue to unfold as time progresses on. But not only could it have effects on Kayshon Boutte, could it have effects on LSU? I think it could. I think it absolutely could, and it certainly could be on the table. Again, it would take the NCAA to punish LSU if they went down this path. Probably looking at least 2 to 3 years based on how fast the NCAA moves on really anything. But it is a situation to monitor, especially if you're an LSU fan or simply a fan that pays closer attention to the SEC.